Hi, welcome back to my mom life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jordan, and today I thought I would take you along with me while I prep for Thanksgiving. Okay, so today is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and I have a lot to do. It's already almost 2 in the afternoon. I let the day get by, but I still have a lot to get done. So I am going to set you guys up and we're going to get prepping. So come along with me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get my turkey brine going because I want to get this turkey breast in the turkey brine as quickly as possible so that it has a long time to soak up all that flavor. So if you don't know what a brine is, it's really just a salty herb mixture that you soak your turkey in a day before. It says 12 to 24 hours before cooking. So I am going to get a pot of water boiling and then measure out how much of this I need and get that going. So I'm going to boil it, and then we have to let it cool completely down, chill it. Once it's chilled, we'll mix it with a little bit more water and then put our turkey breast in. So let's get this going. Okay, I have a big pot of water. It's probably more than a gallon on the stove, coming up to a boil, and then I'm going to add, since I'm only doing a turkey breast, I'm just going to do 1 cup of this because one year I made it and it made the turkey super salty. So I'm going to do 1 cup. Actually, I'll just do the rest of the bag because it's a little over a cup probably. So I'm going to put this into the water once it starts boiling, and then we will let it cool and pop it in the fridge to chill. And while that's coming up to a boil, I am going to prep my sweet potatoes to go in the oven. I have my oven set at 400. I need to get my sweet potatoes cooked and cooled so that I can make the sweet potato casserole tonight. And then I'll just bake it tomorrow, but it'll be ready to go. So let's prep our sweet potatoes. To be honest, I'm not going to wash them because I'm not going to be using the skin. I'm just going to be using the inside. So I'm just going to prick them. Make sure. Okay, now we just need to prick holes. Oven, these will go, and they'll probably take at least an hour and a half. Ooh. So it's 2 now, so we'll check on those at 3 o'clock. Okay, my water is boiling, so I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to add in the brine. It smells so good. This one I got at World Market last year, and it's good until 2020. So you can use it for 2 years in a row if you don't do like a giant turkey. So I'm just going to stir this together and let the salt dissolve into the water, and then we're going to let this cool, and then we're going to pop it in the fridge, like I said 500 times already. So once that is all cooled down, I'll put it in the fridge, and then we will put our turkey breast. I'm gonna put it in a big pot so that my turkey breast can fit down in it, because this would overflow. While that cools down, I'm gonna go ahead and make my cornbread for our dressing. So I'm gonna get my recipe out for that, and then we'll do that. Okay. My cornbread recipe is my nanny's or my grandma's, and keep it in this binder. So I will get that out and get all of my ingredients out, and my oven actually needs to be at 450 for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and bump it up. It's 400 for the sweet potatoes. I'm going to bump it up to 450 because they'll be fine, and then we will get our cornbread going. The first thing I'm going to do is take my big cast iron skillet and I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of oil. This is just vegetable oil. And then I will swirl it around and I'm going to put it in the oven and let it sit there while I mix up the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I think the reason that we do that is to give it a nice crust, because once you pour that cornbread batter in, it starts to like form a crust on the bottom with that hot oil that's already in the cast iron skillet. I think that's why my grandma does that, but I'm not quite sure. But it always works and it's always delicious, so that's why I do it. So I'm gonna get the rest of my ingredients. Okay, I don't know if you could tell when I was pouring the batter in, but it's starting to form that crust down on the bottom. It's going to be so good. So I'm going to put this in a 450-degree oven for 20 minutes. Okay, after 20 minutes, I took my cornbread. That's just a little bit of flour. I took my cornbread out of the oven and it is cooling. It's almost completely cooled. My sweet potatoes are almost done. Please don't mind the mess in my oven. That happened the other night and I haven't had a chance to clean it yet. So those are almost done. And then my brining liquid is cool. I put ice in there, which I forgot to show you. I put like several handfuls of ice. So it is now cool. So now I am going to transfer this into a bigger pot and we will get our turkey or our turkey breast into the brining liquid. I also wanted to say, you can probably hear my washing machine, look at a hot mess. I also wanted to say that you can probably hear my washing machine going. It sounds like it's fixing to take off in there. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that. And then also, my kitchen's a mess. But that's what it looks like when you're prepping for Thanksgiving. So let's go ahead and get into this bad boy. This is my least favorite part. Okay, so I have my biggest stock pot, and when I would do a whole turkey, we don't like dark meat, and we don't like the dark meat of the turkey. We don't eat it. The kids don't like it, so I just got a turkey breast this year. If we were going to be having a whole bunch of people, I would have gotten the whole turkey, but I went with this and then a small ham. If you didn't see my Thanksgiving haul and menu plan, I will link that for you here, but anyways, we're just doing a turkey breast this year. So I'm going to get this out of the package and put it in this pot, and then we'll pour our brining liquid over it. Okay, I got the turkey breast in there, and it didn't have any of the yucky, nasty insides in it, so that was a plus. Now I'm going to pour it over the brine that we boiled. And I washed my hands super good, so don't even worry about that. And then I'm just going to put some more water in this pot and pour it over just to cover. Okay. I'm just going to pop a lid on this and put it in our outside fridge, and we will see this baby tomorrow morning. Okay. It is now 7 o'clock. And I haven't done much since I showed you last. So I did take the sweet potatoes out of the oven, and they are probably cooled. And I have my toast, which I'll show you in a little bit, ready to go with my cornbread dressing. But that's all that I've done. So I need to make my 3 pies and get those in the oven, and then work on getting the dressing put together and then the sweet potatoes put together. And I think that's it. So let me get all the ingredients for the pies. Yeah, then we'll do that. Okay. I think I've gathered all of my ingredients to make my pecan pie and pumpkin pie. So I'm going to do those, and then I have to go downstairs and get the recipe for the cookie pie. I'm going to mute it so you don't have to hear that, and speed it up. And I'm going to put the recipes that I used down in the description. The pecan pie is my grandma's recipe, and the pumpkin pie is just off of the Libby's can. So I will put it down there for you. Sorry. Let me point you down and let's get started. Okay, I got the pumpkin pie and the pecan pie in the oven, and they both bake at 400 for about 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I have these, have you ever seen these? They're called pie savers, and you put them here. Let me do it and then I'll show you. So what those do is it protects the outer crust so that it doesn't get too brown, because they bake for so long that the crust can tend to get kind of burnt if you don't cover them. So I will flip it around and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, again, don't mind the messy oven. That's disgusting. I'm so sorry. But there they are around my little pies, and they will bake 400 degrees for 15 minutes, and then we'll bump the temperature down to 350, and they will continue baking until they are done. Okay, so I went and I got my recipe for the cookie pie, and it's the Tollhouse Cookie Pie. I just add a couple of extra things, but I'll go ahead and write the recipe down in the description box for you, just like all the other recipes that I'm telling you about. This one bakes at 325 for about an hour. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is whip it together, put it in the pie shell, cover it with plastic wrap, and pop it into the fridge, and then just bake it in the morning when I'm baking our cinnamon rolls, because we will have cinnamon rolls in the morning. So I'm going to put this pie together real quick. My pumpkin and pecan are still in the oven. I just bumped the temperature down to 350, so they have about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So I will point you down and you can watch me make this pie. So now I'm going to work on the cornbread dressing, and what I do is kind of unconventional, I think, but it's my mom's recipe, but I take it and I kind of tweak it. So I have some really picky eaters in my house, and I love dressing, and I want to make it, and I want everybody to love it. So I'm going to take my onion and my celery, and I'm going to pulse it up super fine so that there's no chunks, which might seem gross. But it gives it the flavor, and my kids will eat it. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to get to chopping my veggies, put them in the blender, and then I will show you what I do next. Okay, so it's a mess in here. Just overlook it, please. It's a mess. I thought I would have it all together today, and all I was going to do was prep for Thanksgiving, and it just didn't work out that way. And now it's 8 o'clock and I'm just now making the dressing, but that is okay. I will get it made and it will be ready for tomorrow. So I have a stick and a half of butter melting in a pan, and I'm going to point you down so you can see what I'm doing. And I have my veggies in my blender. I'm going to dump them out into the butter, and I need to look at my recipe. I need to grab some sage and poultry seasoning. So let's do that. So I have a helper. My vegetables are still on the stove over there, simmering away. So they will continue to do that. And I have 6 pieces of toasted sandwich bread and then my cornbread that I made earlier. And I'm going to crumble that into this big bowl and get that ready for when I am done with the veggies. And then we need to add some more salt and pepper and seasonings, chicken broth. I gotta look at my recipe again. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. This is what my veggie mixture looks like now. So I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit and then we will combine it with our cornbread mixture. There we go. And then we have to add 2 eggs, chicken broth, and some more seasoning. So we'll do that in a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been a little bit and I went ahead and I seasoned the cornbread mixture with poultry seasoning, salt, and pepper. And I put a good amount of poultry seasoning in there. My mom doesn't measure, so it's hard for me to know exactly how to do it, you know, in exact measurements. So you just eyeball it. And at this time of year is when poultry seasoning shines, so that is, I put a lot of that in there. So now I'm going to add in my, put you down. I'm going to add in our onions and celery. With that butter. And to this, I'm going to add 2 eggs and I'm going to have some chicken broth. You add enough until it is to the right consistency. So I'm going to go get that. I covered the 2 pans of dressing in foil, and I'm thinking that I might only cook one tomorrow. I might go ahead and freeze the other one and just save it for Christmas. My mom will be here, my family will be here Christmas, but it'll just be one that has the pureed vegetables in it. And then when she's here, she'll make her good stuff. So I might do that because 2 trays of dressing is a lot for us. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop them both in the fridge, and I'll decide tomorrow. And I think that might be all I get to tonight. I don't think I'm going to get to the sweet potatoes. We will see. She's not having it much more. So I'm going to check on my pies, and I'll check back with you in a little bit. Okay, so I ended up doing the sweet potatoes, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do a voiceover because our TV is up super loud right now. So that's not going to work. So I will show you how I made the sweet potatoes and have the recipe down in the description box, just like everything else. And I'm not sure if I'm going to include tomorrow in this one. This one's going to be pretty long, so I might just do a part 1 and a part 2. So the part 1 is like prep, part 2 is tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and stick around. And I will see you guys in my next one. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.